I think you. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
The beans are extremely short.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
And then I
medium
told
short.
him, refer back to
Maybe the
you.
ones that I bought are supposed to be short. Yeah, they're not.
Well, this is kind of Ted Dumont, the
What
short,
are you doing with the-
better, you can get all the past.
Yeah, on soybeans, you hate to see a lot of vegetative
Yeah.
growth, because you usually don't get it, but then. Boy, my beans are clean. They are. Perfectly. Yes.
All right, well, let's start then.
Just said it right.
No visitors,
Move the agenda.
all in favor?
I.
Alrighty, minutes,
Move.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
I.
Treasurer,
That's me. Hi.
yes,
So bills and communications, the bills for this month are pretty typical with the exception of the annual dues for the New York State EDC, Economic Development Counselor due, and those are $1,500. Okay. And then, Michael had bought some additional office supplies, although not a printer cartridge, apparently.
They were supposed to come with these.
So that quill.com is, additional office supplies. Everything else is pretty standard for a monthly.
I have a motion for the bills,
I move. Second.
all in favor?
And then in terms, sorry. And then in terms of the budget report, there's really nothing out of the ordinary to point to. Same stuff as last month.
All right, great, Michael.
Okay, everyone has my written report, but a couple of walk-on updates here. Still making progress in discussions with GE and DEC. There's a meeting set week after next. To get an update with them on that particular property and still evaluating other land opportunities throughout the county from a stakeholder engagement perspective. A couple of quick updates here. A countywide housing study passed over the last month. The countywide economic development strategy is set to go before the county ledge next week. Hopefully that passes, as we're an interested party to it. I am doing 2 large meetings over the next month. There's going to be a New York State of Rail meeting held on September 10th. It's being held throughout all New York State, which I think is going to be a pretty good one to participate in. I've been invited to present at the NYSERDA Clean Energy Summit. 929 specifically for the economic development panel, with much more specifically on IDA policies. Moving on from that, continuing to engage with our county chair on items of interest. I have put out a request to him that he is looking to advance. We met with him last year. He invited myself as well as our agency peers for insight into the county budget as to, what are the best use of funds. So we're looking to get that back up again. We thought that was a very good use of time on that end there. Quickly jumping over to operations, obviously the conference room is set up. We will be setting up the other room as a small committee meeting space, and as things move along with Capusa, look to welcome them into the space as well and strategize with them on what they need. Lastly, that I'll provide from an operations standpoint is we're very quickly approaching our budget season. It has to be in by October 31st. The finance committee meets in October, but the last couple of years I've provided the full board a prelim budget starting in September, so we can start working through that. So just trying to stay on task with high level things here, but happy to answer any questions.
All righty, very good. unfinished, we're still on this labor monitoring?
Yes, we are, and we do have Colin Loki on the phone here to provide us an update for the Sterling Solar Project. Colin, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Okay, so for the month of July, there were 34 workdays reported. Of the 34, 0 were Cayuga County residents, 0 were residents of the defined local area, 13 were residents of New York State living outside the defined local area, and 21 were non-New York State residents. So the total monthly Cayuga compliance was 0. The total monthly local area compliance was 0. The total monthly non-other New York residents compliance was 38, and the total monthly non-New York residents compliance was 62%.
So, building off what Colin just said there, we did receive our quarterly labor mitigation payment over the last month here.
Right,
We do have that submitted through Loki Brill's efforts, and we're going to continue to do that. Again, the company is paying Loki Brill for the monitoring service directly. We're just receiving the funds for non-compliance of our labor policy. So do thank them for that. We do have the governance committee meeting ahead of the September regular meeting. One of the items that's going to be brought up there is Loki Brill has giving me some suggestions to our local labor policy of what our peer agencies are doing. So looking to consolidate that along with some of the other adjustments we've gone through to our UTEP over the last year. So looking forward to sharing that with the governance committee and full board over the next month.
and I think, Jonathan had mentioned on the UTEP something about we should consider the, data centers.
Yes,
So maybe we can talk about that.
could be. Yeah. Very cool.
And it's nice, we've got a moratorium for a year or so.
Right.
Hey, Rick. Kapusa update, I heard they did appoint the director. So that was kind of nice news.
I don't know. Why are you looking at me?
I
I saw the headline in the paper.
I just missed you, so it's,
Last night.
How did we not know about it?
oh, they met last night. They usually meet this morning,
The county did what? Oh,
but they had a couple of members out, so we shifted it yesterday afternoon.
yeah, I missed the last meeting, so I'm actually on that, but, so who is it?
Justin King.
Hmm.
He's at some point we'll probably have him come. He's getting his law degree down at Harvard. He's got 1 year to go.
I believe so.
Something. So he's getting to Harvard, and he's from Auburn. You know, King's Auto Supply. That was his grandfather. So he's a local guy. He went to Auburn High School. And he's, for the law side, he's specializing in energy. So he's got a lot of background in that.
We're paying for him with the money that we allotted there
Right.
at the last meeting. Should we vote to approve his position, or is that not necessary?
No, Kapusa approved it.
Yeah.
We're not hiring him.
No, I know that.
So as long, oh, I'm
Do,
sorry.
do we not have some control over the $110,000 that we give them?
They have to, they'll have to submit invoices to us. And in the service agreement, if you remember reading that,
Yes.
there's a lot of, there's specific things we're tasking them to do.
Okay,
You know, the compliance, the director, and I think the virtual power plant.
I think he's gonna start September 1st, and if I remember the agreement that you put together, and then he made some changes in it. One of the first and most important things he's going to work on is trying to get that group back legally with their meetings and their reporting and stuff. And I think, do we need to approve him having an office here if that's what he wants?
No,
That's
We
all
already,
taken
we
care of.
already approved that.
so they were approved as a sublessee as part of our rental agreement with Tony. So what we've already discussed over the last couple of months is that I already have an office and we can just, move Tracy in there with me. They will have their own dedicated space and we can share the conference room as necessary.
Yeah.
And I talked to you a little bit about trying to help them in some way, getting caught
Yes.
up. You still feel comfortable doing it?
Absolutely. I believe they have a pretty tall task ahead of them in getting their operational hygiene in order. So they come back into legal compliance, amongst other things. So happy to extend, my insight to assist Justin in getting them back into good standing.
If I had emailed Andy, I thought if they hadn't hired him, we moved to reconsider that whole motion and wait till, it happens, but,
Yeah, this is kind of key because we don't have,
right,
and the compliance is necessary.
absolutely,
Is he based in Auburn or Boston?
It's my understanding he's based out of Boston and will be periodically traveling back to the Auburn area.
Okay, so not full-time office space. Yeah.
Right, and he's only acting in a part-time capacity for them.
Yeah, I think he's committed to 20 hours a week roughly. But I guess the nice thing too, though, is they're always looking for project work.
Mhm.
So he'll probably be able to get 3 or 4 other folks to help him with Capusa. Just kind of really a godsend for Cayuga County. Alrighty, mid-year board evaluations.
Right, so as a reminder to the board and some of our newer members, a few years ago, our governance committee and our broader board decided that we have year-end evaluations and we wanted to institute a check-in period around the middle of the year to see, how are we tracking against the very things that we have set out as our annual objectives. In addition to the nominating process and procedures, as well as part of our annual board meeting held in December, is to at least start thinking about those things. So when we get to the end of the year, if there's really bad marks, it's not, why didn't we stop and assess where we are? Because of the printer issues, we don't have full plan out for everyone. For those that do, please take some time. You don't need to complete it right here, right now. More of
But
it,
that's probably best.
it would be good because we will track you down because we do want to have a good sense in reporting back to the board to say, this is the feedback and this is where we need to improve. Again, so it's not showing up at the end of the year saying, we completely missed the mark here. How come we didn't check in on this? From the nominating process and procedure, it's more of a discussion amongst that the governance body, which again is meeting next month, but as a full board, this is also as determined by the committee at that time, was checking in on it and getting good sense, are we headed in the right direction or otherwise? So that's the way to answer that item.
Alrighty, CRM.
So you do have in your packet as well is it's a pretty lengthy proposal. One of the things I will bring up is they actually put together a mock site for us here. So-
You shared this with me, right?
I did.
Yeah.
So what you have before you is a proposal for 2 items. One is a CRM and a unified landing page for economic development services. CRM, for those who aren't familiar, it's a customer relationship management tool that's really for helping to track prospects as well as keeping in touch with our existing clients. And offers an array of insights from a ground level that I'm interested in, board reporting that would be interested for you, and then externally, let's speak about the public. How do we display and share that information in addition to probably one of our bigger stakeholders is the county legislature as well. So that's sort of the back end, and it would plug into this mock website that I've met with our agency peers, that being the Auburn IDA, the Small Business Development Center, and CCDC, to say if we had a one-stop landing page in the absence of CCIDA, well, what does that look like? The holding name right now is just Collaborate Cayuga. You drop into the site here. It takes you through some of the high levels of what Cayuga County is known for. Our single largest private investment being Cayuga Milk Ingredients, our county workforce, distance to major metro areas. We're the #1 ag producer in the state. Highlighting our various agencies, and this is something Tracy and I and our counterparts constantly try to balance, and we meet on a bi-weekly basis for this very thing. It's where you're getting calls and looking to submit to one or the other to say, okay, who's on first, who's on third here. The idea of this is it helps route you to the right place. On top of that, one of the sections that I really like is, part of this would plug into the CRM, is it helps track those who are interested in either expanding, starting, or locating here in Cayuga County. What are we known for? Here's some of the larger industries. This is something we definitely need and are sorely missing for Cayuga County.
Yeah.
Sites and buildings. We do not have a dedicated panel that helps route interested parties to a centralized location. We can't do it within our website as it is right now. We have multiple brokers throughout not just the county, but the region, who have multiple sites. Again, working with Tracy and our colleagues, we'll get an inquiry and say, does anyone have something like this? And we're just running around. This helps aggregate everything into one area for someone saying, I need 12 acres with a 5,000 square foot warehouse. Is there anything like that? It would be populated within this area, which makes it much, much easier. The nice thing as well, the back end, we're able to see, who's looking at it. We can at least determine this is the type of industry, saying, okay, we're getting a lot of hits at this sort of industry. So that's very helpful for us from an attraction and marketing standpoint. Again, this is more of a marketing perspective to say, where are you located? We're strategic. If you're thinking about Auburn, distance to major metro areas, again, we have I-90 coming through here. And this is, again, just a mock website, but we can also do other things to say, what's the distance at Hancock International, the Port of Oswego, where's the nearest rail line, whether it's CSX or Finger Lakes Rail. Really important stuff along those lines. Again, workforce being a very important factor nowadays. This helps highlight what that looks like. Again, this is all just mock information, but it's very good marketing information and part of what we do at the ground level to help incentivize someone to come locate here. Great overview of what we do. Again, highlight of our largest employers. This is just an add-on that could be included, which is an AI assistant. That's plus or minus. So again, that's the highlight of what this website is.
Yeah, I thought the website was very well done.
It
looks slick.
It's a great mock site. Part of the reason I also think the CRM is important as a part of this is, aside from keeping track of our inquiries, it also brings in inquiries we don't hear from directly. It's just those taking a look at our website and gives us more information of what's going on here. In addition to keeping track of our existing pipeline of activity and a very centralized reporting perspective that our peer agencies can also allocate as well, so we have a full holistic picture of what's going on here.
The other thing I liked is it's got some functionality where you can look and say, hey, who's hiring people, who's doing a building expansion, and maybe proactively contact. That was pretty slick.
Yeah, and the CRM, it does have a capability, it has some AI built into it to help identify the types of businesses. Well, it'll say like, oh, you're getting a lot of hits from, I don't know, plastic fork manufacturers. Here are other plastic fork manufacturers that might be looking for an East Coast location. And gives us like very specific information about who we might be able to contact and make some traction with. So that's also built into that CRM model.
And the cost was,
So the first year cost, all in, all dollars in, is 10,000. Thereafter, it's roughly 8 going forward. One of the conversations I've had with our chair here, in addition to our county chair, is I personally think this is very important for us to pursue. This is what we had actually recommended to the county last year when our peer agencies advised the chair on what we think would be the best and highest use for economic development dollars spent. This platform and website, based upon comparables that I've seen, is the absolute best bang for your buck. Implementation time is roughly 2 months. Again, if the IDA were to take lead on this, I would very much request that the county reimburse the IDA for this, because it's for the benefit of the county that we will be undertaking.
So-
thoughts?
So I have a question, because this is how we kind of got started on the conversation. So, for instance, like the property I have listed for sale in Weedsport,
Mhm.
and I could reach out to you. And
Yes.
you could say, here's all the marketing material on it, and you could upload it to.
Yes, or at least make sure it's listed and it can point to your site and your marketing
Okay.
material. And we do see our peer agencies have this, which is, great to see, but not so great when we're saying, why don't we have this? Because it's a really important module to have is sites and buildings.
Yeah, it's great. No, I think it's great. And on a sales part of it, if somebody's looking for something, we either go to LoopNet or Crexi.
Yep.
And then if it's not there, you're kind of searching it through the internet to see what website it is on, with which broker, because not everybody uses Crexi or LoopNet. So if this is definitely makes a lot of sense.
Next steps. Looks good.
Well, if the full board is in support of it, I'd be more than happy to reach out to Chairman Anna to say we would like to pursue this, but not without the county's committed support. As I
I
said,
thought they did allocate money though this year, right?
they did. So they've definitely put their foot forward on a couple of those objectives, which was supporting the SBDC as well as advancing the countywide economic development strategy. There were 2 other buckets. This was the marketing bucket.
Yeah, I mean, I'd make the motion that we're supportive of it. We want to go forward. And you can write a request to the county for the money.
Second.
How does everyone else? Are you good with it or?
Yeah, I'm good. The only question I had, so, and this is something we own, then I guess we just route traffic if to ADA or some of the other organizations.
Yeah, so this is the landing site, and as we've been discussing as an agency and other agencies, is in the absence of CCIDA, we need some sort of landing page here. And as the county still figures out the direction they want, we could eventually move our entire website here. We'll still keep our own, but this helps, say this is everyone else. And
Who's going to manage this?
we can, there's multiple users that fit within it. So from Ada, Tracy would have a insight, Bob Griffin would have insight, and whomever from CCDC. So they're able to access their information, but we still retain what's ours. And as I said, if we wanted, you just click on SPDC. If I'm doing it right, which I'm guessing I'm not.
It's possible they haven't built in links yet.
They did. I
Oh,
was,
they-
I was doing it earlier. I swear it was working.
But you get the idea.
Yes. So right down there, I can click on that, takes me direct to their website because SBDC has a very specific form and we have our own application forms and so do they. So this kind of takes a hand out of, okay, well, this is
No,
mine.
it's a virtual.
Yeah.
One stop.
Yes, and it's helping to move the ball forward of what we think on the ground level needs to get back to that point, but
Yeah.
you know, what that looks like, we don't know without the county telling us.
Well, we should look into the virtual PBX, so.
Yeah. That could be a integrated part of it,
Yeah,
A virtual what?
PBX.
PBX phone,
VX?
Yes.
like, remember the old telephone operators?
That's right.
The one that was like, press 1 for CCIDA, press 2 for ADA.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's got call forward and voicemail. Any other question, Tom? You good? Kirby?
You made a motion that we proceed with it,
Yes,
with or without county funding, or
no, with. right.
With, I would not recommend you pursue without county support.
so you're going to
Yes.
try to find out about that?
I just gotta write up an invoice and send it to him.
He can do that?
I had a preliminary discussion with Chairman Anna. He seemed very supportive. And I said, I want to make sure I present this. I did not present everything to John and just had a high level discussion. Wanted to make sure this board was comfortable before going back to John to say, we would like to pursue this.
Right, in the Auburn IDA and CCDC are all on board.
Their representatives are.
Oh, very good. Any other discussion?
I was just gonna say, just 2 points. One is it would probably be a good idea to get Capusa involved once they get up and running. If they're gonna, I don't. If they're
No,
gonna
that's a
fund-
great idea. We might as well do that.
Do that, and then you may wanna talk to to tourism, to Courtney. To just in terms of marketing, getting the word out, cause she's got a big push for agritourism right now.
Mm.
But in terms of getting attention to marketing, she might be able to help out there.
No, that's a those are a couple great points. All right. All in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Oh, and I just wanted to mention, I was talking to Paul Pinckney and, Jane Young, Harry Tubman, but I thought as long as they had him on the phone, I mentioned our interest to get in the lighted Eagle Drive. So they asked me to send a letter. So I sent that to their town clerk and they're gonna put it on their agenda.
We really need a light there.
It's a crying shame that one light, you just couldn't move.
So I just remember when the whole thing happened with Bass Push Up and they read about the whole front of them.
Yeah.
The DOT, like when you're driving past the mall, when you're right in the middle of the mall, and you know how that lane gets really weird.
Yes.
Very bad, right? So that was supposed to be temporary. So the goal was eventually that was gonna shift, so the DOT is well aware, I would think, right?
Yeah.
That was the plan, was to add a light there.
No, and I got quite an earful from, as you might imagine, Jim, about, they identified all these issues up front. And I said, I know, but we just gotta keep plowing that field. There's been some accident, well, as you can imagine.
Yeah, the whole thing's a little weird.
And it's funny, cause like, go there at night, those lanes go all over. I mean, if you don't live here, know that area. Okay. Oh, and we had a meeting just before this about the Cayuga County building. We've got a small building committee. Really, we're still in a holding pattern waiting for the county. But we wanted to start getting a project plan developed. Executive sessions,
Did we have any land?
we got a couple of
I have a
details.
couple things for executive session. Do you want to have them speak
Oh,
before?
yes,
You usually.
you guys, yeah, do you guys have anything you want to say?
We're done.
Yeah,
Yeah, just, continuing concerns about the pace, the pace at which the project is moving as far as that. Well, with the article in the paper the other day about the Ways and Means Committee, as I read the article, it seemed to say that they're voting on the pilot agreement or the road use agreement next Tuesday. That would seem to be the indication. When, I don't know, but when I looked at the Ways and Means Committee, the recording of the meeting, there was executive session, there was no mention in the agenda, nothing in the, in the video, but that ties in with the pilot, where we have the same concerns that there's no community engagement, if you will, with the pilot agreement with the Agricola project. So
well, we don't have a
We,
permit.
we still have no application, so we have no way to comment on any activity outside of what comes before us.
So will there be the public transparency, unlike what we think we're seeing with the road use agreement, with the county road use
Well,
agreement?
we can't speak to the count,
Oh,
I mean, not
I
for-
understand, but I just want
but-
to make sure that.
but our process is very, very transparent. We, the meetings are open, you're happy to attend. And then, as we go through the permitting process, we'll have a public hearing. And sometimes we'll get 100 people show up.
Mhm.
So those are usually well advertised, and we'll make sure you guys get contacted.
Okay, so that's comforting to know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know other counties that they take the strong stances one way or the other.
yeah, I don't,
With nothing to look at, I understand
but,
the position.
yeah, the New York State open meeting law and the whole seeker and all those processes are very open to the public, which they should be.
Okay, so you said we'll get notified, what, 30 or 60 days? What is have a time frame for that?
We have nothing at this point, so, until we receive an application and have a full understanding of what the board will have to consider, I don't think the board is really in a position to speak on that at this point. Should it advance to the point of public hearings, I'm very certain we would give ample time as required by law that would inform the public of when and where it would be held.
I think it's minimally 30, but
10.
10,
So it will be on a board meeting agenda, and then there will be a public hearing scheduled. And there will be a public notice is
Yes.
required, a legal ad in the paper, it has to be on our website at least 10 days beforehand. So it has to be published at least 10 days beforehand. And then the public hearing will occur.
and it's a little,
Will not be here. Would
So
be-
it will not be on the IDA's.
It would be on,
Will it be on the IDA's website?
Yes,
So
it will.
we keep, see,
watch our website, we update it.
like, I like to see around by the way.
but it's funny because frankly, we'll have projects that, we're just about to get an application for years. So we don't really get too excited.
Yeah, right. Nobody's holding their breath. You're waiting, but you're not holding your breath.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, again, we'll have a chance to comment, so that's.
yes,
So, I know that the new liaison, if you will, for Liberty, they're not just like the old guy, they're really trying to push things along. In how do I be politically correct? They're trying to push things along, I'll say it that way. So we just don't want to miss anything.
Yes,
Just by being on vacation or something, whatever.
yes, we'll make sure to keep up, you're updated.
Very good. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Move for executive session,
Reason,
move for land
acquisition or disposition.
acquisition.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Can you remind me of your name? Yeah.
My name, right?